Right, let's now talk about the characters. Characters are really objects with a character sheet. So this means that if you don't know yet how to handle object, then you might probably want first to watch some of the previous videos of this series of tutorials, and more precisely the one that concerns the object management. So assuming that you already know how to handle objects, let us create our first character. In order to do that, you want to open your content window, go into the character section and click the add button. So you won't be too surprised to see that the character window is quite identical to the object window. You will find here you delete, duplicate, bring here, go to and pin buttons. You've got your name, you can change the texture as well, and you've got all the pawn properties that we already covered in a previous video. The only difference is that extra button here, which is the character sheet button, which will toggle on and off the character sheet. So before exploring that character sheet, let's give that guy a nice look and identity. So we'll make him a wizard. Give him a name. Merlin should be alright. What's that? Oh, yep. I need my letters here, so go back to the French keyboard for a moment. That should be alright. Okay, and the proportions are not correct, so let's make that a pawn. Click apply, and it's all set up correctly now. Alright, so let's go into the character sheet. The first property here is the round, and it will determine whether or not our character is going to participate in the next round. So in order to show you that, I have opened here the round window. I'm not going to cover the round management in this video, but I just want to show you here that when I click this round checkbox and apply, you can see that my character is now participating to the current round. Next is its health. You've got two numbers here, current and maximum health. So you can set its maximum hit points. Let's give him 85, for example, and the current hit point here, 75 will be alright. The ratio I'm going to bring the character closer to us so that we can see its name. The ratio of the current over maximum hit point will determine the color of the name above the character. For example, if I set this to 0, which means he's dead, then the name will be all red, and if I set this to its maximum or above, then the name will be green. Alright, next is the initiative. You can set any formula and bonus that you like, and again, in order to show you that, I'm going to open the round window and the journal window and click on new round, so you can see that the initiative has been rolled here. So dice 120, 1 dice 20 gave me an 8, plus my bonus of 5 gave me 13 here. Alright. Next are the attributes. Those attributes will probably most often be your abilities and skill, but I gave that a very general name. Well, as a general rule, I try to give names as general as possible, not to get stuck into one specific set of rules. So the attribute, they will be generally the abilities and skill. So let's add one attribute here. Well, we're going to add two attributes. The first one will be an ability. Ability here, and it's going to be, for example, the force. And the second one will be a skill. I'm sorry, the default row is still in French. Skill, and it can be perception. So never forget to apply here. And as you can see, for each attribute you get a formula that you can fill as you like. For example, D20 plus 5 for the force, and d20 plus 7 for the perception. Let's apply, and you can now of course delete any line when you want, but you can also test the ability here or the attribute. For example, if I want to roll a check on my ability, a check on my force, then I just click the test button here, and you can see that the dice is rolled. I made 18 with my dice 20 plus 5 of bonus, give 23 here. Same if I want to check my perception, 17 plus 7 is 24. Alright, the section here is given a filter, which means that if I want only to see my perception, then I just enter a few letters and it's filtered here. Right. Next is the next is the action section. You will find again a filter button, an add button. We're going to add 2 actions here, and for each action you can see that you've got several properties. So let us first make this an attack. In English it will be a sword. We won't need a second one here. So we've got your type here of action. It can be an attack or anything you'd like. The name can be also anything you want. And the difference between the attributes and the action is that the action gets 2 roll dice, one for the attempt and one for the effect. So generally speaking, it will be the hit and damage, for example, and but it can be really anything you want to. Of course, you can delete the line, you can filter them, and so on. It's quite the same as the attribute, except that you get 2 roll dice. And in order to show you how to roll those dice, I'm gonna need to open the action window for my character. Again, I'm not going to explain in detail those windows. They will be detailed in a dedicated video. The only thing I want to show you here is that this window here is displaying the actions that the character will be using during the round. And if you want to use a specific action in this round, then you've got to check this box here and click apply. You can see that the action is now appearing in the actions window for that character. And if you want to throw dice, you can see that I'm having 19 for the try and 7 for the effect. So that would be 19 for touching my opponent and 7 for the damages. Okay. The last thing here, the last property here that I want to show you concerning the character is quite complicated. It's called share and use as reference, and what it's going to do is use this character sheet as a reference for every newly created character in the game. For example, if I let's close this one for the moment. I apply, so I'm sure that everything is saved. If I'm creating a new character, contained, and add a new character, you can see that this character's character sheet is currently empty. Alright, so let's close that one. Go back to Merlin and make Merlin a reference here. Now if I apply that, every character in the game will get that will get that character sheet. So you can see it has now some ability, a force, it's got perception, and it's got an attack with a sword. Of course the formula are not duplicated. So how can this be used? I'm going to uncheck here Merlin, apply, I'm going to delete this one and I'm going to create a new one, character here, that I'm going to set up as a reference character sheet. So I'm going to give it a name, character sheet here, and I'm going to give him the picture that tools, that would be that one, a picture that shows that it's just a character sheet and nothing more. And I'm going to enter a few things here, so let's try ability here, intelligence for example. Let's add another ability, force. Let's add one skill, oops, perception, and another skill. Let's make that discretion. Then apply. I want that to be a pawn here. Apply, fine, so it's nice looking. And go back to the character sheet. Alright, so I've got a character sheet here, and let's add some actions, whatever, and apply. So the point here is that now if I select that character as a reference character, it means that every character in the game will be given his character sheet. So you can see that Merlin got 2 new rows, one ability and one skill that he didn't have previously, and he got the extra attack that was set up in the reference character sheet there. The point is that if I now create a character, contained, add a new character, you can see that this character has now a full empty character sheet. Alright, so this is a way to centralize the character sheet management, so that if you're playing a game, you can set your rules. You just set up a reference character sheet character, for example, and then all of your subsequent characters will get this character sheet. Okay, I hope it's clear, and I think this will end this video here. So thank you very much guys, and see you in the next video.